All right, so I'm over here on verse 19. But like I say, yeah, those strangers, those foreigners, those fellow citizens with the saints, those pertain to Israelites, okay? Those pertain to Israelites, all right? Not any other nation, all right? But they're strangers. Why? Because again, they were mingled with the heathen. If you read the Apocrypha in Maccabees, First Maccabees, it tells you that our people were, it was illegal to be called a Jew. You couldn't be called an Israelite. Even now, they're going to be making these laws where, hey, we're not going to be able to call ourselves Israelites. They're going to demonize this truth, and that's what. There's nothing new under the sun. But because they took the Apocrypha out, now when you go and read all these New Testament books, you're confused on who the Gentiles are, because the white man has deceived you and he's taken out the Apocrypha, showing you where, like I say, in First Maccabees, it tells you that our people. Well, let's get it real quick instead of talking about it. First Maccabees. Let's start at, because this is dealing with, and this is another reason why they took the account of the Apocrypha out of the Bible, because it's a name dropper, all right? The Apocrypha drops names, Edomites, Edomite names. They had to take this out, otherwise, our people would have, everything's at the will of the Lord, the time that the Lord has set that time, but it basically comes down to our people would have probably, it would have made sense sooner than later, but everything is Yahweh's will. So, let me just read this. First Maccabees 1 and 10. And there came out of them, well, let's start at 9, because this is dealing with when the so-called white man began ruling and become the dominion on planet Earth. It says, and after, hold on, Salakia, you got the intercom going. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, so did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. All right, so evils were multiplied in the earth when the so-called white man, the Edomite, began ruling. In verse 10, and there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been an hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. All right, so the Greeks were Edomites, white men, so-called white men. Verse 11, in those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So you see, in those days, you had wicked men from the nation of Israel. Those are those 2/3. And they're like, hey, they're still here today. They're back in the regeneration. They're proud Americans, These Israelites who are in the military for Esau, Edom. The Israelites who are going to the Catholic Church with Esau, Edom. The Israelites who are going to the Christian church with Esau, Edom. The Israelites who don't want the so-called white man to be destroyed in the destruction on the last day. All right? They're literally these souls regenerated, reincarnated. They've came back, and in you 2/3, you still love Esau, Edom, man. He's your father, the devil. Like it says in John 8:44. Well, anyway, let me keep reading this. Verse 12. So this device pleased them well. Let me read that last part again. No, let me read the whole verse. 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. All right, and the word device means wicked mind. So that was a wicked mind, to to be mingling with the heathen and wanting to be a part of the heathen. And it says, then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen. All right, and you fast forward to America, Babylon, the same thing is still happening, man. You still have to go to the Greeks, or who are the Edomites, who are the Americans, who are the Europeans, who are the Romans. They're all Edomites. You have to get your license if you want to do anything from the heathen, man. You know? It says, whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen. So even the gym, the gym is a custom according to the heathen. The gymnasium, that word literally means to exercise naked. It's a heathen custom. That's why you have women walking around in yoga pants at the gym, showing off all their camel toe, showing off their ass, you know what I mean? And then causing other men to sin, because, hey, you're not supposed to see all that on a woman who's not your wife. You ain't supposed to see her camel toe. You ain't supposed to see her ass all up in her yoga pants, No, you ain't supposed to see that, man. It's a wicked thing. So, but that's where, this is the history in Maccabees, which the so-called white man took out of the Bible, because he didn't want you to know that, hey, Israel, there were wicked men in Israel who said, let's make a covenant with the heathen. That's when they became Gentiles, meaning strangers to God. So you see, if it doesn't make sense to you, then the Lord has just not let you see it, man. And He's got you on strong wine, and He's got you on what they would call you're drinking the grape juice of Babylon, all right?